Welcome back, welcome back. We're gonna do a shadow room today. Let's see what we can find.
He gonna come home, he gonna get praised for that body in LA. When the kids know, yo, I'm 14, I'm 12, I'm gonna do this little bit of time. I'm gonna come home, I'm good. When you come home,
K.I. lied the whole time.
he gonna come home, he gonna get praised for that body in LA. When the kids know, yo, I'm 14, I'm 12, I'm gonna do this little bit of time. I'm gonna come home, I'm good. When you come home, you can't get no job with that felony on your back. Nobody wanna hire nobody with intent murder, murder, gun possession, assault with a firearm. You're not getting a job. He gonna come home, he gonna get praised for that body in LA.
So let me get this straight. Pop Smoke, I don't even really know him at all. But I watched a couple of little skits and interviews on him, and I played a couple of them on GMB TV because he kept saying real shit. Like, I'm not a gangster, but you have to defend yourself. You gotta get busy sometimes, you know? He was always talking like just be a man shit, sort of. Like, I don't know, all the skits that I see, right? And then he gets taken out by a young kid that's probably souped up and, oh, I'm in the game. Y'all don't see that you got tricked? Your OG sends you to go take out somebody that probably would have saved your fucking life and gave you a job. Right? Now, you're no longer allowed in society. You'll never not be nothing else but a gangster. You get it? You can't go back now. You get it? So even though you don't get life for taking life, you gave your life up. You can't go back. And when you do, it's the worst thing in the world. Because, soon as no one's hiring you for a decent job, first of all. If you do get hired for a decent job, you will be exploited. Because you can be thrown away like trash at any time. Why? Because you got all those charges on you. And all I gotta do is say, he did that again. He threatened me. And then, you lose your job. So then next thing you know, when you come to the working world and you finally meet the scumbags over here, you'll be doing shit sort of like, harassing workers. You'll get a good job. You'll get bonuses and stuff, though. It'll be just like the gangster thing. Except, you don't go to jail. Because, they know people. See, I had that problem for fucking 2 years now. A bunch of fucking dirty face, fucking tattooed fucking gorillas running around my job wanting to fucking get mad. A bunch of old, dusty, bum, dirty fucks. And I'm like, yo, how's all these niggas really mad that, cause you working hard, and if you work hard, these niggas might have to work hard. And they all used to being lazy ass bums. So the Lord stumbled you upon a bunch of convicted or ex-felons and fucking bum-ass niggas, and now they're gonna try to get your ass up out of there. But, just like Pop Smoke, see, I came to help the workers. Bring us together, let them know, like, yo, it doesn't matter, like, you do realize you're in the game now. It doesn't matter, like, you can use that to your advantage. But you won't. You'll get bossed around. You'll do more crimes. And then the Lord will send someone like me to bring your boss. They got a boss. He's going to bring one of them down. And then they're not going to need you no more. Pay cuts. Guess who's going first? Just leave me alone while you have the chance. Now, younger generation, stay in your place.
Stop. Legend. Brandy? Bitch ain't no legend. I'm the legend in this motherfucker. You can't be no legend and you five fucking years old.
I'm gonna
Hey, motherfucker, just call somebody a legend. Oh,
Stop.
Even Brandy sitting there and agrees with her. Stop trying to fucking pander. You know, let some of the legends go out with grace. You know? She's the OG up in there. Let her be the OG. See? All the haters. I have respect for authority and, position. Seniority and shit like that. See, that shit actually does mean something when you earn it. I'd like to take this brief intermission to say, all love and all praise to the Most High.
that's a nice place. Black people all over the world would be forever grateful to the Dutchman. That's a nice place. Black people all over the world would be forever grateful to the Dutchman.
You do know the Dutch started the slave trade.
Those motherfuckers.
If you're mad about that, wait until you find out the original Dutch are black people.
Because there's murders in other countries, like Jamaica. I go there all the time. But there's rules there, right? So if you're my enemy in Jamaica, and you owe me money or you created harm to my family, and I see you out at a restaurant and you're with your family, I can't touch you.
Nah, niggas on site. We on demon time over here. You're goofies, you're fucking reckless, and you're dumb. You have no fucking order. Now pay attention to how real bad guys do things. You know, so their fucking family survives the fucking wars, you goofy dumbasses.
Why did Darkseid lose the ancient battle?
Because there's murders in other countries, like Jamaica. I go there all the time. But there's rules there, right? So if you're my enemy in Jamaica, and you owe me money or you created harm to my family, and I see you out at a restaurant and you're with your family, I can't touch you.
Why? You're a bad guy. Why can't you on site just go crazy? He hurt your family. Because it's probably not direct, I'm trying to hurt your family. You got it? You probably had your family where your business is, and you're not supposed to do that. Oh, you didn't follow the rules. Oh. So because you didn't follow the rules means you get to break the rules? No. It means now you learn, keep your fucking family away from the business. You know? Away from the battleground. Because there's rules. We're not allowed to touch each other's families. That's what we're doing all this bad stuff for. For our families. Because we're not evil men. We're bad guys. There's a fucking difference.
I don't have the permission to hurt you. I need to wait for the next chance that I get.
And that's a code that's respected amongst all
100%,
Jamaicans.
right? So in Jamaica, there's Dons. Dons are the leader, the gang leader for each community. The Don dictates what the rules are, right? So that's an unbreakable rule. Dans are the gang leaders in Trinidad. They're called Dans. There's no rules. So if I see you and you have your pregnant wife, your grandma, your daughter, and you owe me money,
Don't matter.
you're all dead. And the sad thing is, this is what happens on a daily, and I mean a daily basis in Trinidad. A lot of grandmas being killed. Oh, I couldn't find you, so I'll kill your grandma. Because there's murders.
And then what does that do? That leads to someone going like violence begets violence, right? And then you prove you're the super killer by doing this for so long, right? And then one day you do it to some random kid or something, right? And you're like, he's nobody, he has no one, right? And then that nigga dedicates his life to destroying you and becomes the Punisher. And then everyone starts going bye-bye. And no one can figure out what's going on. It's because you fucking did something and now you have to deal with that. But you don't know who it is because you keep doing it to everybody. So now what happens? panic and fucking shit sets in. You start accusing your own people. You do some dumb shit to them. You embarrass them. Now they're fucking beefing with you. And next thing you know, you're ratting each other out, fighting each other off some guy in the shadows, picking you off one by one. You know? Because that's what you did. That's why there's supposed to be rules. Because you could be whatever, right? But one man with dedication and a whole lot of fucking time can do things that a whole lot of men can't do. Cause you get to live life. So he gets to fucking watch you live life and watch your weaknesses. And then when you're vulnerable, he's there. He's just a nigga in the crowd. He's just a woman in the crowd. They're just the whore that you're paying for in your services. Sound the horns. My daddy's in the building. See, a lot of gangsters be going bye-bye out of nowhere, and you think it's somebody else. But no, it's someone you hurt from the past that has no power at all. They just have the power to plan and wait. And all you had to do was just go by the rules. You had the power. You have the power. You get it? Why abuse it?
I don't respect men.
Did you have a father that you respected?
I didn't disrespect my father. He wasn't around.
Okay, so that's the thing. So stop it.
I wonder why so many dads are not around. Oh yeah, because if we're not gonna get gunned down or fucking stabbed down just for being a regular person, and you know, people just, you know, all this crazy shit. Get it? Or you're in the shits and you get put down. You see how fucking crazy that the world's becoming? And I understand the excuse that everyone get. If I don't do it, somebody else is gonna do it. Okay, it's gonna keep going, and then that guy that I just described, that woman I just described, there's gonna be thousands of them. Do you understand that? And no matter how fucking powerful you low-rank Super Saiyans are, you don't have armored cars. You like to go outside. You like to do things. So when they figure out where you are all the time, and then they start, you get it? You're gonna get put back in the shadows. You're gonna be walking around not trusting. You're not even gonna be able to take a fucking drink of fucking... and get my favorite gin at the bartender's gonna spike your fucking drink, dummy. You're bringing so much carnage that eventually the weakest of the weak motherfuckers is gonna snap and be like, yo, I can't take it anymore. What was the movie? With Tupac and Marlon Wayans. I forgot the name of Above the Rim. Go watch Above the Rim and watch how that movie ended. There's gonna be a lot of those guys because we're tired of not being able to be regular. We don't want no part of the gang life. We don't want nothing to do. We don't want to tell on you. We don't want no parts of nothing. We just want to go to school. We just want to get a job. We just want to fucking do what we do. But you guys you just don't stop because there's nothing to stop you except the Lord. And since, you know, many of us don't know how to pray to the Lord and ask him to get your ass sick, you know, make your enemies get rid of you for us, shit like that. Well, then they got to deal with yous. And then that's when they do the Marlon Wayans at the end of the movie. And then you go out from a regular sucker ass nigga instead of a glorious battle or some fucking whatever, or, you know, riding off in the sunset like, you know, all the other guys that actually do this shit for real and realize, why am I showing off trying to be super fucking violent? This shit is about money and retirement and my family that I got now.
There, right? You didn't even have the prime example of what you needed to carry your love for men in your later ages. Your father wasn't there to instill certain traits in you, so you will accept a man's love. God's love comes through the Father. So since...
Now, for the bad guys, You've got to really think about those concepts of you don't want your kids to be gangsters or your daughters to be. Some of yous don't care and you will. Alright, whatever. But a lot of yous I've seen, yous don't want that. When yous do the things yous do, the curses of the Lord go on to your children. This is why they'll grow up and won't have a husband. You'll do all of those things, and you'll give them the whole world, and because of you, they lost their soul mate in the process, you know, because, like, they have this aura on them, and, you know, your ways, so, you know, the Lord's real.
You don't really know how to experience and digest the Father's love. That means that you don't really know how to experience and take God's love, because that's where the love trickles down from, right? The Father's love is much differently than the mother's love. The mother's love is more of a coddle love. You fall down, you get back up, oh baby, it's okay. You fall down, you get back up, oh baby, it's okay. To the point when you're falling down so much, the Father's like, stop falling.
Right.
What are you doing? But the Father would tell you that the first time.
Right.
Why are you tripping and falling? Get up.
My dad did that to you.
That sounds cute until you read the Bible and God forgives man because we keep fucking falling and falling and falling. So, you tell me what a father's supposed to be like, because the Lord said, I need you to try to be like me, nigga, and my love is endless and my forgiveness is endless because you're idiots. I have to forgive you. You're fucking children. You think you're grown. You think you know what you're doing. And when your own actions make me get up off this fucking chair and punish you all, then you'll understand that he runs shit. And that's why we need forgiveness. And it's okay. That's why I love him.
Well, the Father's love is a disciplinarian love. God's love is disciplinary. Think about it. God wants you to repent before you go to heaven. That means that tell me what you did wrong and repent your sins, and then you'll get to the promised land. But if you don't repent,
the Lord said, repent and do the law. You're not getting into heaven just because you say words. That's faith. James the Just said, your faith without works, you saying shit to the Lord without doing what he told you to do, means fucking nothing. Why? Because he's the Father. If he had to put in work, nigga, so do you.
forget you. And that's that Father's love. If you're not changing your behaviors, then, hey.
I don't.
Everybody's worrying about right now, right? This is the best thing I can say to the gangsters that are like probably like fuck you, whatever you, all the biggest Satanists, you know, all them niggas that they don't believe in God and you do, when they died they said, oh shit, I'm wrong. They didn't catch bodies, nigga. They souped other niggas up to do it, but you know, my father said when you use your mouth, it's the deadliest weapon in the world because you can get other people to do a lot of bad things, and then that's on you. So they know all that shit they taught the people, and then all the actions of their minions is gonna go on their head. So that means they're never getting out of the shadows because they started things that started things that started things that started things that started things, and people will never fucking know. Their little cycle of bullshit's gonna keep going and ripple on and hurt other people and hurt other people and hurt other. See, that's how powerful you are as one individual. As soon as you step outside, you affect the whole world. Now, you don't think you're getting judged for that? For having that much power and influence on the world? Taking free will, taking life. Not even realizing how important your life is. You've done all this, and the Father still lets you breathe, and you believe it's because he's not real. It's because he's gonna punish you.
Dr. Doom arrives in Hell after being shot in the head by Taskmaster. He's greeted by Mephisto, who tells him it's been a while, but Doom assures him that like before, he's not here to stay. Victor insists that he doesn't belong in Hell, but Mephisto simply tells him that he's glad to finally have his soul, forever. Doom responds by punching Mephisto in the face and lifting him by the throat, declaring that his destiny is to save the world, not rot in hell. The demon proposes a bargain. If Doom can convince Valeria, his first love, the woman he sacrificed to become more powerful, that he deserves his life back, then he may return to it. Doom tries to talk to Valeria, who runs away from him. Victor eventually catches up, telling her he means no harm, trying to justify his past actions. He tells her of a vision he had where he is redeemed and saves the world, but Valeria warns him not to be deceived by such visions. She pleads with him to stay in hell with her so they can be together again, but Doom refuses, saying he must return to Earth. Mephisto stops the illusion, reminding Victor that his soul belongs to him forever. Doom, now back in his normal clothes, attacks Mephisto and retaliates by stabbing him in the neck with a shard of bone. Mistress Death stops their fight, saying that Doom will return to his life. Mephisto pleads with her, but she silences him, while Doom still believes that he's destined to save all things. Death corrects him, revealing that the reason he must go back is because he will become her greatest servant of all. With that, Doom is brought back to the land of the Dr. Doom.
Oh, imagine that. You're a permanent Sith Lord. And you're stuck now. Because you know, Death has my father rules over Death. Death's not in charge. My father rules everything. And when you go, Mr. Sith Lord, you want to be super gangster? My father said, I'll harden your heart and trap you over there and curse your generations for all time. And when I see you all face to face, you're going to fucking know then. You're going to know that I run all the sides. You don't work for no me. You work for me. You all work for me. And it's so complicated that your brains can't even wrap around it.
My mom, she got killed when I was 8 years old. I had to live with them full time, and I went to stay with them. And it was like we was living on my grandfather's income. So he was real old-fashioned. He's representation of tradition for me. So he would just come and give my grandmother his check. And I never understood that growing up. I was like, "You just gonna give her the whole check?" He was like, "Yeah, it's just smile with you." Like,
because women back then would make sure to pay all the bills, make sure all the groceries, everything in the house would get paid for right away. And then she would take the money that's left over and she'd be like, here, now you can spend money on dumb shit because you're the dumb one. You're the idiot. And the world didn't brainwash me yet. I got to be home away from the world being protected by you. But now I want to go to the world. I want a job. I want to see what it's like out there. And now I'm beating the head. And while you're waking up from the beating in the head, now you're the responsible one. And you still want me to hand my check over to you. And I know that you're in the middle of waking up. You're in the middle of the matrix. You're still fucking beating your head. There's no way I'm giving a check to you. No, you're going to give your check to me now. Because I know what the fuck to do with it. Pay the fucking rent.
and then later, like as an adult, he'll tell me, he said, "You couldn't see it and you won't understand it because you was a baby." He said, "When I gave your mama the check, it stopped her from looking at things I couldn't give her. Because she was aware of what was really there, it made my responsibilities her responsibility." But my mom...
That too, but, you know, men back then couldn't trust. When I hand this money over, the lights is gonna be on. There's not gonna be a fucking notice on the door because she went out and bought a new phone. There's no way dinner's not gonna be in the refrigerator because she needed new nails and a weave. Nah. She's gonna make sure to pay for all those things because I went to work, so that's what it's for. And then because I love her and I don't need to stunt I teach you how to stunt now, nigga. I got my 2 good outfits in there. And what the fuck am I going out to stunt from? I got a girl. I stunted to get her. Now that I got her, I don't need all that. I got my 1 or 2, the weak outfits. The rest is just work clothes, nigga. Or me just sitting around not wearing nothing. Fuck you talking about? Fuck you mean? You niggas is crazy.
I totally agree with this video. Y'all tell me y'all thoughts.
The involvement of violence in black folks, to remember that we learned from some of the best. Some white boys came over here, did the first beheadings in Point Coupee, Louisiana, where I'm from. Tuskegee syphilis incident. We're going to see how black men die, and we're just going to watch the pathology of how they die. Now, that wasn't back 200 years ago. That was 1930 to 1974.
Vlad breaks down the story of how Lil Woody I totally agree with this video. Y'all tell me y'all thoughts.
The involvement of violence in black folks, to remember that we learned from some of the best. They had some white boys came over here, did the first beheadings in Point Coupee, Louisiana, where I'm from. Tuskegee syphilis incident. We're going to see how black men die, and we're just going to watch the pathology of how they die. Now, that wasn't back 200 years ago. That was 1930 to 1974. We're talking about giving these wonderful blankets to the Native Americans infected with smallpox as they walked on that trail of tears just to see how they die and to eliminate their population so we can take all of that land. So the violence that is in America has come from a very learned position that was brought here by some Caucasian folks.
I've been saying.
So stop being like that. It's not who you really are, you know? You don't hate your brother. You don't hate your sister. You don't even hate them. They taught you that. You love. That's all you are.
How to survive Ghost Rider's penance. Stare. Think you can outsmart Ghost Rider's penance stare? Here's the secret. Grow more eyes. Sounds crazy, but it works. Ghost Rider can only target 1 pair of eyes at a time. Closing your eyes might weaken the effect, but fully escaping it? That's pure luck. Take the Punisher. He's violent, bloodthirsty, yet totally immune. Why? No guilt. But Wolverine? Same lack of guilt. Yet he's obliterated by it. Weird, right? The secret behind Ghost Rider lies in the spirit of vengeance, controlled by the Archangel Zadkiel. This supernatural force creates...
So, Ghost Rider is it's like a demon thing, right? I think I could have sworn he's got a flaming head. He's a skull. He's coming out of the depths of the pit. But it seems like he made the deal with the Most High, and he's empowered by the Lord. So that he's like good and bad. It's like he's a gray, and he walks around exercising niggas just by looking at him.
It's Ghost Rider through 4 insane stages. 1. The spirit takes control. 2. Hellfire bursts out. 3. The heat melts away human flesh. 4. And boom, the iconic flaming skull is revealed. There's not just one Ghost Rider. Across history, countless riders have existed, each with unique powers shaped by their host's creativity. The more imaginative the host, the more epic their abilities.
Imagination.
So, how would you survive the penance stare? Let me know.
You don't. You know, unless you're a really bad guy, like it said, and you have no remorse or guilt. You gotta be a really evil fucking person for that. Or believe what you're doing is right. I hear crazy people do that, or something like that. I was watching some science shit, and trying to understand why certain people do certain things, and some people believe they're right. So if you believe you're right, you know, you do things, and then the truth happens eventually. And then you learn you're wrong. You know, like Anton LaVey? You know? You know who that guy is, right?
17-year-old ESD Lil Mo was just arrested and charged with 3 counts of attempted murder on a police officer.
Bro. can you please teach these little guys a little bit better? Like, 17 years old, and he's blowing at the boys. Like, what? That's all right. Let's see why.
After at the police on camera, let's break down how
On camera, okay?
this happened. ESD were doing a hood vlog with Live with Baba TV. As an old man was walking by, they thought he was an op and almost blew him down.
Yeah. Oh, this here with a green hoodie on.
I'm not. I don't even got it.
He good. Nah, he good. Hey, say no, he good. He good. I don't know. He got his hand in his pocket. I'm nice and waiting for. Nah, he good.
Thankfully, they didn't blow at this innocent old man, but he did call the police on them, which caused this to happen.
Is that 12? I think that's 12.
I can't show the sounds, but just know he fired at least 15 rounds at them. Do you think this kid crashed out for the camera? 17.
So, sound horns. A regular old man, like, this is the point of, like, the video. When going too hard for no reason ends everything. You know? That guy's 17. I think he's facing a lot of years. Like, you know, like how they say, like, 10 years for each bullet. That's just having a thing. Having it's like 5 years. Blowing it is like fucking 15. You blowing it at the officers, that's an extra 25. Then 10 years for every bullet. Like, that's a lot of years. And then when they start asking them questions to get some of those years away, what do you think a 17-year-old kid's gonna do? And even if he goes in there, you don't think, like, this is what I mean, so much is going on that eventually it's just gonna, people are gonna have enough. You get it? And then, like, the big sweep's gonna start happening. I keep saying it over and over and over. And, this is what my father told me all these years ago. Stop breaking the law. You know? It's better to be homeless than be in jail. Period. You think it ain't until you're in there. And you gotta get told what to do. Then you're locked in with all these other motherfuckers and all the worst. And it's not like back in the day. Like, these drugs are breaking people's minds. You know? We're at the point of, like, the opposite end of everything, and the mind is real. You get it? So we got people running around really thinking they're Goku. Trying to fucking draw and key and shoot Kamehamehas. I've seen it. We had people really become Batman and go and risk their lives and form a fucking Justice League in their own town. Costume heroes. And go around fucking doing things. It's just going and going. So if we got motherfuckers on that opposite end spectrum, then eventually we're gonna get the Joker and Mr. Freeze and Vegeta and all the other fucking, you get it? This world this delusion people have adopted to gain power over each other, especially on this lower side, is doesn't have to be this way. You know? If those kids didn't pull out on him for walking down the block minding his business because they're so paranoid because they got beef with other fucking people for I don't know what that gang is, and I have no idea about none of this, who this kid is, but all they're paranoid, they're flexing this. We walked up on him a little bit and then he said, oh, he alright, and then he pulls it out anyway and said, and now you're done. All you had to do is just look like you're supposed to, get ready like you're supposed to, because, you know, it might be the ops. I understand that. You're on your demon time. But, you know, like, that's why you say what the kid said. Hey, who are you? And then the old man, I don't know if he said anything, but, you know, somebody said, I look regular. One little situation, all of those other situations, trust me, I know. In my youth, I didn't go super hard and blah blah, but I was around shit and I seen shit and I was the little kid, let me get money, I'm gonna get money, yeah. And then I woke up one day, my father woke me up and said, hey bro, how many fucking charges are you around every day? And if one of them niggas slip up and you're with them, even though you do everything right, will you get locked up? And I said, yeah. And I said, what happens to people that are around that? Don't they get charged as gang members or whatever the fuck is going on in that situation? Everyone, and I said, yeah. And I said, I be in the car chilling with dudes. I ain't wailing. I just know people. We grew up. And then I realized, wow, when we're all together at once, there's so many fucking charges in that room. Wherever we go, we're just going to one crime scene to another. We don't know who's taking pictures. We don't know who's watching who. We don't know who's fucking ratting. I don't know. I'm only there to chill, blow L's, and, you know, go back off. And next thing you know, if someone gets in trouble and you're there, well, and that's when I realized I gotta stop being around everybody. I don't care if you're my friend, my family, or anything. I don't need to hate you. I don't need to fucking nothing. I need to be over here because that shit has always been only a matter of time. Because of the actions everyone's taking. Everybody's gotta go super fucking hard. Instead of just, you know, living out the order. The point of it, the mission of it. Get your money. Have your fun, you know, the dominance and the territory. Yeah, that's for the other gangsters. You do that to them. How do you have in your mind, I'm gonna hurt the people that actually, people are the ones that buy things off you and shit, the drugs and all that, you get it? People are the ones that they see what you're doing, don't say nothing. You see how that one guy made one call and it was a rap? That can happen at any moment. But niggas don't give a fuck. Why? Because you got your life and I got my life, dog. Can we separate or at least make the old rules come back where you do that crazy shit to you and people that come to offend you and think you're whatever, but people that just say, oh, let me just go over this, let me just put my head down, let me just walk by, let me say what's up, let me just mind my business. Leave those people alone. You know? Because a lot of people haven't realized a lot of spiritual things are starting to take place. And I once read in the Bible that the Lord, He made these special angels. And I just played the fucking the X-Men's and all of those things I place for a reason, because they're representations of things. This shit is random. I'm just going down and picking one and then using my brain. You get it? What the fuck you think Dr. Doom is? That's like Satan, nigga. You turned your back, you're stuck, you're going back down there, and at the end of time, I'm gonna judge you. You're done. And anybody that joins you, that's what's gonna happen to them. When you go too much, when you wanna go from thug to demon time, alright, you're locked in the game. And my father's real. And like I said about like how he controls things, the Ghost Rider thing, dog, that's other things. This is why it's an endless cycle. And you can even break the cycles and still live your lives in certain ways, I think. Don't quote me. I ain't the Lord and I don't know all the Bible. But I do know that people need to calm down, bro. Think of yourself. Think of your own future. Think of your family. I wonder why this is the next random one.
The most hated human being by God was Pharaoh. Pharaoh was someone that God gave superpower. He was America.
Do you understand what he just said? Fuck that America shit. Because that's anybody that ever is in, the Lord made Pharaoh. The Lord made Pharaoh. Do you understand that the Lord, He makes the Sith and He makes the Jedi and says, dance, monkeys, dance. It's fucking GMB TV for me, nigga. Do you understand this? This is his TV set. The world. And because there's certain things that have to happen, that's why he runs shit. So it will happen.
We are Selkirk. The most hated human being by God was Pharaoh. Pharaoh was someone that God gave superpower. He was America at that time. They had pyramids and And he sent the miracle so he could see it with his own eyes. And he still didn't believe in the Creator. And so God drowned him in the Red Sea. Now,
so the Lord made one of the most powerful, Sith in the world. And he said, all you gotta do is acknowledge me. Acknowledge I'm the one. And he said, nigga, I'm God. What are you fucking, whatever I believe in is fucking strong. And then he said, alright, I'm gonna send one guy over there. You think it was just a quick story? You think the Lord wasn't nudging this nigga for fucking years and years? Like, yo, bro. Whatever you serving is my little niggas. What do you, wake up? And then, nah, fuck that. And then, he had his inside man. Moses was like adopted by Pharaoh, right? So like Moses was one of them, but he was really one of them. And then he woke up out of nowhere like fucking Neil, and then he bashed this nigga's head in, and then he went on a fucking holy quest to find the Lord. And then he came back and said, you're gonna do this, or the Lord's gonna start going nuts. And Pharaoh said, who the fuck are you? Like, are you fucking, I remember you, you're the traitor, you're nobody, you're a nothing. And he said, you're exactly right, I am. But I am that I am said, he's the man. So to beat the man, you gotta beat a man, and that a man is about to challenge you to a pool party.
first of all, in the Quran, which came 1400 years before they found this mummy, they didn't know they were going to find it, right?
Yeah.
How could the prophet have known they're going to find it? They did. In the Quran it says, pull it up. And on this day, O Pharaoh, we preserved you as a sign for those who don't believe. Brother, they discovered this mummy like within the last 100 years, perfectly preserved. Perfectly, nails, hair, teeth, everything. And he wasn't even mummified the way the other mummies were, if I'm not mistaken. He wasn't even mummified the way they were. Now, that's some pretty raw stuff right there.
I don't know if that was Pharaoh from the story. Could be. But if you get hit with a wall of water, you know what I mean? And the Lord makes the river go back to being regular. You know, I'm sure you're gonna be downriver somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? That's why they could have found him, because he's like the most important person at the time. So I'm sure there's like plenty of other people. I was like, we have to find him. Like, back in the day, people had this thing called respect. You know, there was rules and orders and da-da-da-da, all these things that people did. And it was for a reason. Because our actions affect the way the viewer, the Lord, you know, watching down, he said, this is a story. And you're gonna fucking be you're in it. Now, if you know, we could do this the easy way, or we could do this the Lord's way.
Pretty raw. The most hated human being by God.
Amen to this brother right here. He is preaching. How can we sit up and pray to God for a change? God, we need you. God, this, and then we still do everything. He said, man, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. We are willfully ignorant, man. God can put the truth in our face, man, and we won't listen to it, man, because everything is based off of how we feel. Sometimes the people that God sends to deliver you ain't the people that you like.
They didn't like Jesus. They didn't like Moses. They didn't like Elijah. They didn't like They didn't like... You just never like anyone he sends. So, you know.
That's where maturity comes in. Amen to this brother right here.
China has a temple of their first emperor where they are afraid to enter it because apparently he booby-trapped it with so much mercury that you open the doors, it'll just flood everyone with mercury, and all the ground around that area tests very high in levels of mercury. So he had this temple that's underground that is probably filled with who knows how many priceless artifacts, and people are afraid to open. China has
All love, all praise to the Most High.